Hello, my name's Chris. I'm the boss of North Cornwall VW Centre in Weybridge, Cornwall. I'm going to show you now what we do, the basics of doing an MOT test. First thing we do, we need to log on the vehicle and get the details of the vehicle, and then use our smart card and we'll log on to VOSA. Right, so first we put our smart card in, enter our passwords, we log into the vehicle, we then get a inspection checklist which gives you a sheet of paper with the MOT information, your vehicle, all the chassis number and everything, and this is how we start an MOT. All MOT testers do their MOTs mainly, in different ways. Everyone is not the same. We have our own sort of set procedure. I usually, first of all, is check the emissions, fuel emissions, first of all, when I bring the car in. So we start the vehicle up, make sure it's hot, then we use this machine to do an emissions test. Again, you log in, select whether it's petrol or diesel, enter the registration number, etc. You do the emissions test, and we get a printout for the customer, obviously on the printer there. After that's done, my next step is to do a brake performance check on the rolling road. What I was looking at was those dials, just to make sure the brakes are all knocking out and performing as they should be. We also do a balance check to make sure that the front brakes are actually even, braking evenly, and we also check the handbrake. It's all using those dials. We write down the percentages, and then the computer will work out whether it's passed the brake test or not. The next thing I do is I check all the lights. We're one-man testing here, which means we use the mirrors to check all our lights. Check the horn, washers and wipers. Wipers must clear the screen. Make sure there's no cracks or damage to the windscreen in a certain area. We check all the seat belts to make sure they're all working correctly. Make sure there's nothing loose on the steering wheel, all the switches are fine. Main beam warning light, hazards warning light. Around the back of the car we check all the rear seat belts, check that there's no tears in the seat belt, check that there's that they're locking in correctly. You check the fuel filler cap, make sure that the seal's okay and sealing. On the vehicle, just check for light security and damage, number plates clearly visible. And we'll have a quick look under the bonnet, make sure there's no fuel leaks and things like that. Sure the servo pipes that you can see are not split or anything. Check the brake fluid level. Then we'll start and raise the vehicle. Before that, there is one thing, is a headlamp aim, which is tested on this machine. You set all that up and it's got to be within the limits of the machine. Obviously if it's high or too low, that would fail the MOT. Yeah, then I'll take the vehicle up sort of quarter way in the air. About quarter height, so I can visually see the tyre, the size, and then look at the tread depth, then go around the vehicle. Quickly check the condition of the wheel, check the thickness of the brake pads if you can see them. If you see that they're below 1mm, they would fail the MOT. Check there's no splits on the sidewall, and check the tyres are the correct size. Have a quick look at the tread depth, which we'll do again when it's all jacked up. I'll have a quick look at the tread depth. Across the car, check the seals, etc. Make sure there's no holes. Again, this wheel, brake pads if you can see them. And I use a separate machine, it's called a shaker plate, which we'll check in all your ball joints on the suspension and your steering arms and suspension joints and things like that. But it works by just moving the wheel from side to side. It goes side to side like that. You're checking for any play in track rod ends and ball joints on that side, and then press the other button and it moves the vehicle from side to side to check for ball joints and sideways movement. Get the vehicle off the ground, rock the wheel, make sure that there's no free play or anything loose there. Everything feels tight. Then spin the wheel, check the wheel bearings aren't noisy or rumbling. And then I'll turn the wheel this way so I can check the tyre treads. As you can see, this one looks quite low. If you see this tyre, they're what they call wear bar indicators. When they get to that wear bar, your tyre is just about got 2 mil of tread on it, and the legal mil is 1.6. So this tyre is getting quite close to the legal limit, although it is legal. Right, now that's done, I'd go around the rest of the vehicle, visually inspect brake pipes, any leakages, corrosion, all sort of things like that, whether there's play in any bushes. And I'll then go to the back of the vehicle, basically do exactly the same as I've done at the front, checking all the bushes, springs and etc. That was the basics of an MOT test. There are things that you can do yourself, which is quite important. If you want longer tyre wear, it's important to check your tyre pressures weekly and make sure your tracking has been done, so that all the tyres are wearing evenly. That means you'd get maximum amount of wear from your tyres. We have got a 4-wheel tracking alignment, so we do 4-wheel tracking here. We don't sell on tyres yet, unfortunately, but we can get them for you, which is not a problem. Other than that, yeah, just check your lights, wash your fluid and oil level, just general light maintenance if you can do it yourself.